Okay, today I really had planned to do kind of a demo rather than instruction of individual moves, except maybe on the warm-up exercises. I may give you some instruction on those if we have time at the beginning. Well, and then I'll do a set and you can get an idea of the set that I do and whether you want to do the whole thing or bits and pieces of it, whatever. And I'm wondering how many have done Tai Chi before, and whether you're a beginner or you've been doing it for years or you've been teaching it, whatever, just to give me an idea. So I don't know how to evaluate that, but maybe Mary can tell me who says yes or no or what. Oh yeah, I'm getting notifications. Okay.
You can either put your hand up, or actually there's a little icon that you can use to raise your hand at the bottom of the participants window, I believe it is. Or hover over your name. Sorry.
I've also done it a few times.
Okay. Have you seen that, Johan, now? Have you got a number?
I'm just seeing individual responses as they come up on my screen.
Okay.
But that's okay. First time for Mark. Daryl says he's a beginner, but has done. Has anybody taken really courses or been to a Taoist Tai Chi center? I think it's changed its name right now too. I forget what it is. It's a different modality and a different name.
Looks like lots of beginners.
Joy. Okay. Okay. Is there anybody who's actually done it and done the 108 moves? See if I get a response. No. Okay.
Amber did say she's done 34 or 37 steps.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. Yeah. There are, with the sets, there are different kinds of sets. I'll talk about those in a minute, but there are shorter versions as well, which, yeah, is okay too if you don't really want to try to memorize 108 moves. So I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Hopefully for about 10 minutes, we can talk a bit, 10 or 15 minutes. And I'm going to try this. Here we go. Photo, it'll be a photo of the, okay. Can you see that, or how is that working? Is that sharing? Oh, done. Oh, there it is. Can you see that? No? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. These were questions that Aunt Mary Jean forwarded to me, and I thought, well, that's a good way to start. And I thought I'd write them out because I don't know how much I'll remember, and I'm a bit nervous myself this afternoon. Anyway, so Tai Chi was something I kind of fell into. It was being offered at the Taoist Center here near Orangeville, where I live, and I enrolled. It was an exercise form and a spiritual practice that appealed to me. The moment the classes began, I knew this was for me, and I would be doing it for the rest of my life. It was kind of a revelation, actually, and that was what I'd be doing in this plane of existence that I'm in now. And that was in 1995, and the rest, as they say, was history. So I've been doing it a long time. I've been doing it off and on sometimes, and I don't know, maybe the longest time that that I was away from doing Tai Chi would be about a month, I guess, over all the years I've been doing it. But it does come back to you. Sometimes you'll forget a move or two, especially if you don't pay attention, which is part of the meditational aspect of Tai Chi. And right now, I haven't been able to do Tai Chi for a couple of weeks, so I'm a bit rusty. I was doing it a bit beforehand, and if I don't get too nervous, it'll come back. What are some of the benefits of regular Tai Chi practice? Briefly, Tai Chi is an exercise form that moves every muscle in your body, massages all the inner organs, tissues therein as well, keeps your heart rate steady, and a cardio workout. I have seen people sweat hard doing Tai Chi. It can be a very difficult, well, can be a difficult or as hard a workout as you want to make it. And it keeps you flexible, reduces, if not eliminates, arthritis in combination with proper food intake, of course, and including raising the strength of your immune system, keeping everything massaged and functioning. And of course, meal plans and all the rest of it are vital to those kind of things. Those are just some of the physical benefits. Tai Chi is also considered the foundational practice for all martial art forms. And I think that's because of the spiritual part of it, as well as being conscious or aware, maybe not conscious, but you're aware that it's working on your body. And it's a slow, more focused exercise that kind of forces you to pay attention and not let your mind wander. And I think paying attention in any kind of martial art is vital. And you get that definitely in Tai Chi, as well as the physical benefits. Okay, I'm going to bring up another screen, if I can find it. Here we go. Can you explain briefly what the spiritual nature of the practice is? Spiritually, Tai Chi is known as a moving meditation. It requires focus and a still mind, which develops by its doing. It moves your energy around in a manner that opens your chakras, and by massaging your energy points from different when you massage those energy points, or where you put the needles in, it activates them. Your nervous systems and light auras get a workout and keeps them moving. And your memory of the 108 moves translates into body memory once they are consciously learned, and encourages you to trust your body to remember what it was that you learned. It mirrors the intuitiveness of listening to that inner voice that guides you. There's much more, and we'll go through them as we learn a bit about the practice of Tai Chi over time. Can anyone do Tai Chi? Are there any restrictions? The brief answer is yes, anyone can do Tai Chi. It is a very adaptable exercise. One can do various moves and warm up standing up or from a seated position, depending on your ability and physical restrictions. Alignment and balance and intention is another word you often hear. In doing the moves is important. My teachers would say, if anything gives you a sharp pain, don't do it. Often we try too hard and push it too much and go beyond our abilities, going out of alignment and balance as we do. Also, one eases into a move, not falling into it. When we walk, it is really just a controlled fall. In Tai Chi, we make sure of the step before we move into it. And I will try to remember to demonstrate the important points in the form as we go as well. Okay, 1 second. Next, one more screen. And here we go. There we go. Now the form I learned was from Master Moy Lin Shin, who he instructed some of my classes before he passed away. Later, actually, after I'd already gone on in Tai Chi. And that was before he passed on. And the teachers that taught me were his students. And he was one of the first teachers to bring Tai Chi to Westerners, maybe especially here in Canada, against strong opposition from his community who said, Westerners, us, would never really understand it. He developed a set of moves and instructions adapted for us to be able to do it and understand its spirit from his own training in China that essentially dates back to the beginning of Tai Chi. This is the form I was taught. There are many forms, Yang style being the most common. And so that's kind of the background in a paragraph of the type I learned and continue to learn and modify some as you go, as you get older, as your body changes. And I have a clip that you can review later. It's actually Master Moy doing the set very early on in his teachings here in the West, and it shows him doing the whole set. He's in a suit doing a set, and I'll leave you to recognize the place where he's doing it. Anyway, I think Mary Jean will put that up for you in the chat if you want to copy it. Anyway, are there any questions on what I've said or what you'd like to add, or anything on Tai Chi that you would like to mention or bring up? Anybody can feel free to comment on what I said or whatever.
I followed some Qigong classes, sir, and it sounds like a lot of the same reasons why I would do that. Qigong,
Right.
Tai Chi, right? And I do a lot of yoga work, but I like I say, I only did actual Tai Chi classes maybe 4 times. And again, the Qigong, and again, like you just mentioned, once I'm in my 50s, it's a whole different thing than when I was doing this in my 20s or 30s. So I'm just wondering, is it really traditions only that are different, but the same ideas?
It is the same idea. And Qigong, in my understanding, focuses more on healing, especially if you have certain issues that you need to work on. And it tends to be done in one space. You're not moving. Like I've set up my living room here, hopefully in a kind of a small space to do a full set. And Tai Chi is done best outside, and so is Qigong. And I've done some Qigong and really enjoy it as well. And I can feel the energy of it. But and a good teacher there is vital is to guide you through your own individual needs and healing, I think. And I think it does a good job of combining wholeness in your healing, spiritual and physical. I don't know, is that kind of jive with what you're...
Absolutely, and also one leads to the next, right? I mean, it was a yoga teacher who got me into Tai Chi in my 30s, and then this is coming back around now, and then I'm meeting you through meetups. So I feel really excited to have found you, and I'm excited to give it another go. It's very encompassing and comforting and strengthening. I remember all of that, so I'm excited to find you.
Right, great. Any other thoughts or questions? Okay. If there is none, I'm going to go straight into doing a bit of a warm-up. If you want to follow along, that's fine. Or if you just want to watch, that's fine too. And I'll try to describe what I'm doing as I do it. And I don't know if I'll get I have a number that I do before. I'll give you an idea of what my practice is when I do it. And it usually, my practice lasts maybe 45 minutes, probably about an hour. If I do all the warm-ups with the amount of repetitions that I do, and then I do a complete set. And it's the set that I do by myself tends to be about, it ends up being about 20 minutes. And if I do it in a group, we try to slow it down more and get 25 minutes or more in doing a set. The slower you do Tai Chi, they say the more benefit it is for you. And it certainly helped you to focus and concentrate for that length of time. The slower you do it, the more you tend to let your mind go off somewhere else and you forget where you are. But so anyway, you'll see how that goes. And the actual exercises are bits and pieces of some of the forms of what the moves are in the sets. I have a list here. I can show you. There's 108 moves there. So, and it looks daunting, but there's a lot of repetition and variations on a move. And this was the instructor who founded the Moy. That's Master Moy doing the set. There's a lot of videos too with him doing moves on YouTube. Anyway, and the book is quite good too. If I don't know if you can find it anymore, this is what I got when I was taking it. And it shows and describes each move in the footwork. So let's get on with a bit of a demo on what we're doing here. Let me see. There we go. Okay, I have to keep it on myself so I don't go out of frame. Another thing too is this COVID business has kind of gave me a little weight. But I can still do Tai Chi with having weight, and it'll keep me flexible and keep me moving and more focused on what I should be doing. I also have to change my glasses so I can see you guys or see me. So one of the first exercises I do is called a Danyu. So your feet are about maybe a little further than shoulder width, your feet a little bit at an angle to the side, and your arms are out in front of you, palms up. And then you bend your knees straight out over your toes and lower your hands as far as you can go. And then you come up and a little bit of a stretch out and down. This is a good exercise in itself. It warms everything up, gets the blood flowing through your body. And it's important to keep your knees going over your toes. Don't know if you can see that. And it's not necessarily to sit right down. You can go like there, just like as if you're going to sit in a chair. And usually you breathe out. It's not like I forget how they could describe it in a physio class, where you tighten everything up. You try to, when you go down, you let everything go. Even let the belly hang out. So, and I usually do this about 15 times. I'll give it maybe a couple more. Let me try it from the side so you can see if that makes any difference. The arms go down, sit, and up. You try to keep your back straight and not, but you don't stop your knees. Like often people go this far and then they'll start to lean forward. You want to keep your back as straight as possible. And when you go down, just bend the knees and then up. So you don't lean forward. Let the stomach hang out and up. Once more. Okay. Any questions on that one?
Yeah, Johan, this is Daryl speaking.
Yes.
The speed you were doing, would that be a normal speed? And second question was, do you breathe in and breathe out when you're going down and coming up type of thing?
It's usually breathe out when you come up because you're forcing your, I think it's out. And then in when you go down, or the other way around. It's not that critical whether you breathe in or out. Don't get lost in the breath when you're doing that one. It's just, the important thing is to remember to let everything kind of drop. You don't tighten your abdomen muscles or anything like that. You just let them, everything kind of drops and falls in place.
Thank you.
So,
Johan, there is a question in the chat.
Yeah.
Is there a modification? Because this person can't put pressure on her knees.
right. And for that particular move, it would be, I would think just probably, I'm kind of making these up as I go because I haven't really learned a particular seated set. But let me get a chair here. Here we go. So I don't know. I don't know if you're still sitting down, but it would be just sitting in the chair, keeping your arms out, and maybe just lowering them. If you can do it that way, or if you're there, just think that you're doing it, and just let everything hang down, and then raise your hands, and maybe breathe out. And in, or if the other way, if you like, just breathe out. And yeah, it seems to work better breathing out than in. And you can just do that. Thinking I'm going up, I'm going down. So trying to keep your shoulders back as well. Or just do the sitting down. Just sit. So you're not putting any pressure, as little pressure as you can on your legs. So you're sending up, you're sitting down. With Tai Chi, you would probably be more making sure your feet are flat on the ground and raise yourself with your feet, not throwing your body up. Like, but anyway, so it's essentially to take the weight off your knees when you're down and just keep standing up and sitting down. Does that help a little bit? Making sense of that? Okay, we'll do
Yes, thank you.
another one. I don't know how this actually works. Oh, here we go. Okay. I got to see my feet. So you can see. Okay. The next one is, that one's called a Danyu, by the way. Not quite sure how you spell it, but it's pronounced Danyu. And then there's a Toryu, which is feet together. Can you see my feet? There we go.
Back up more, Johan, towards the
And
curtains. If you could back up a little
again,
more towards the curtains, then we can see your feet. Back up.
can you see?
Yes, perfect now. Thank you.
That's as far as I can go
Thank you.
without hitting the. Okay. So your feet are together and you lift up the toe, move it to the, say that's your left foot, left 45 degrees to the right foot. And then you bend your knee slightly, sitting into that leg, and there's one point in Tai Chi where your balance is behind the toe line and in the ball of your foot. So that's where you focus or think about where your weight is going to be. So you're there and you just think about it. Just think, where am I going to, am I on my heel, on my toes, just about on the ball of your foot. You sit there and then you lift this leg and you put it straight out in front. So you can see the heel. There's a line between the heel and the of that foot, the left foot and the right foot. So it's still 45 degrees. This one is here. This actually gives you all the positions or the what do you call it? The points of balance and equal and opposite forces and things like that in your body. And then you lean, you look down, you should be able to see your toe in front here. I'll do this sideways. One, sit, step, there. And there should be a kind of a straight line between the back of your head and the heel. And most of your weight, or all of your weight, is pretty well on the front leg. You can lift the back one off a little bit like that. That's kind of gives you an idea where your weight is. You keep your hips as squared as much as possible to the leg where your weight is on. And if I'm in front of you, here we go, this way, step, and zip, here we go. And not this, when you go here, you're straight out, hips are there, are square to this leg. Now, when you shift your weight back, you turn your hips actually, and now they're square with this leg, 45 degrees to this one. This knee is straight and this knee is bent, but you can still see your toe. And back again. And over. This is without using your arms yet. And you keep your head straight, so that gives you a rotation of the spine under the head, and your hips go like this. You straighten one leg. Now this leg is straight, and this is bent, and you can still see your toe. And back. This is a good one too. These are, if you do nothing else, do these two exercises. I'll do it sideways for you. This one. Sit, step, and there. And you kind of see the form here. And then I'm going to shift my weight and turn, still keeping looking ahead. I've got my hands on my hips to give you an idea of how they go. It's really a straightening and bending of the knees and rotating of the hips. And your spine rotates under your head. That's a fundamental exercise like that. And of course, then you do it with the other side. Balance it off with the other leg, 45 degrees, sit, lift, step, turn, and back again, turn. Here we go. And if I'm doing it sideways, sit, step, turn your hips. It's a straighten that leg, bend the other one, turn your hip. do now. There we go. And you do that slowly, one to the other, until your weight is practically all on this leg, and you should be able to lift that one off. Again, it takes time. Okay, now I'm going to add the arms. 45 degrees, sit, step, rotate your hips this way as much as possible if you're stiff. And you kind of sit into that position. Don't push your knee out in front. If it hurts, you've gone too far with your knee. And that way. And now your arms out, and you have the hands in a tiger's mouth, they call it. And the tiger's mouth is the middle finger and between the thumb and the middle finger. That's where your intention is. It's not slack. It's not real tight. It's just an intention and awareness. And then you, as you rotate, you cross the right hand over the left, raise, and rotate. So the rotation of your arms are not the arms rotating, but you're keeping in line with your spine. So when you cross and then you rotate, uncross, raise, back again. And we'll do the other side. Sit. And I forgot which one goes on top. I think it's the left. Yeah. Sit. And turn back, square the hips. And raise and turn. And if we do it from the side, sit, step. Turn. Raise. One hand over the other. Turn. Turn, straightening the leg, bending the knee. And turn. So that's called a Toryu. And I usually do about 15 repetitions to a side in my practice. And you can do as many as you want. I can always also feel myself breathing, and I'm getting warm already, even with those few moves. As far as being seated, let me think for a minute. I think if you stay seated, it would be just a kind of a rotation of your spine. You'd be going like this, back, maybe, and then down the other side, and back, and like that. And you could probably do your arms too. Let me try that. So you're seated, legs together. Well, give yourself some space there, maybe shoulder width, and arms out. And it would be just a rotation. And back. And keep your head straight so the spine rotates underneath. And you could go down, up, and back. This way. Up and back. See, keep looking forward. So I think you're focusing on the spine, and turning it. Cross the hands, turn, raise, turn. Cross the hands, turn, raise, turn. So that would be more of a spinal rotation. There's another one for that, which I can show you as well. How are we doing? Oh, 343. So there's 2 exercises. There's any questions on that one? Got a bit of detail into that one. Anything there, Mary Jean?
Now, I'm not seeing any questions.
Okay. So I can do a few more warm-ups if you like, or I can do maybe I can do the whole set in the time we have left, or we can do some warm-ups and I'll just get you started in the set. Decisions. What would you like to see? Anything in particular? No. Okay.
I
What I'll
would
do with
suggest
that-
that you go ahead and show us some of the first moves, and then we can practice those in the next couple of weeks. I would say that's my suggestion.
Okay, that's a thought. And usually when I learned this set, we took 10 weeks and then did about 3 or 4 moves depending on the repeatability and what they are. In the beginning, we would do like 3 moves for one lesson. And then over the week between one lesson and the next, you'd practice those 3 moves. Wouldn't take you long, but it'd be enough to fix it in your mind. And the best thing for me was as I was driving home, I would think the moves through my mind. And when I got home, I would do them. So it's almost immediately afterwards that you would do them. So what I'm going to do is do a little more than the first 3 moves and just give you an idea of how the Muay style or this Taoist Tai Chi starts and goes. Okay. Let's see, let's start over here a bit. And one thing they do with Tai Chi, when they do the whole set, they start with a bow. But since we're not doing the whole set, I'll just start. And the start is shoulder width apart for your legs, about here to here, and not maybe, but parallel to each other facing front. And let's see, whatever gets comfortable there. Slight bend in the knees. And then the first move is actually very easy, but helps you focus. Tiger's mouth. Put your hands down. I usually take a few breaths before I start. And then raise hands and down. And that's actually opening Tai Chi. So again, I'll do this again. And very easy. I'll do it sideways. So to arms straight. And down. So that's opening Tai Chi. Okay, now I'll do the whip to one side. Here we go. That's about 3 moves, 4 moves. Here we go. 1. Now you lift the right toe and face that way. And then the left heel, set it down 45 degrees. And now you're in the Toryu stance. You see your toe, head to heel is straight line, hip square to this side, and knee straight, knee bend. Your weight is on this leg, arms out. And, oh no, sorry. You go this way. One arm down, equal and opposite forces. One hand above the knee. Then you go into a hold the ball, wrist above wrist. Stand up on that left. You can put your toe down for balance. On that right foot, sit, step left. And that's another 45-degree angle. And you shift your weight, rotating your hips. Left hand, right hand down, left hand in front of you. Left grass bird's tail, this is called. Hold the ball, like a ball between your wrists. Stand up. Step right. Grass bird's tail. Hip square, knee bent, see your toe. This one straight, 45 degrees. Tiger's mouth. No, sorry. You're like this. Gonna do it again. Hold the ball. Step left grass bird's tail. And left grass bird's tail is you don't touch your palm, but just think of a feather between your hands, your fingers in your palm. And then you shift your weight back to the left leg. I call it draw the bow. Take the pulse. This time your hands are on your wrists, and drop the elbows, open your hands, palms out, shift back. Call that drop elbows. Then whip to one side, pigeon toed, toe down, your hand into elbow, step, turn, twist step, 45 degrees, hold the ball. A lot of shifting of weight. Present. And once more. Let me go right from the beginning on that one. Raise hands, down. Right foot, right hand, left heel, left hand down. Hold the ball, sit, step left, left grass bird's tail, hold the ball, step right, grass bird's tail, draw the bow, take the pulse, drop elbows, and pigeon toed, toe down, and into elbow, whip to one side. And then it goes this way. Sorry, the percent was wrong. And step up and raise hands. Hold the ball, step across, push across, toe down, white stork spreads wings, open, left brush knee. Okay, that's the first 5 modes, I think. Yep. First 7 moves. There you go. So we'll do the first 3. Feet parallel, hands down like this. And the tiger's mouth is like that, not like this or too tight. it just steady so you got this mouth thing there. See? Okay, 1. Raise hands. Right foot, left heel. This is 2. Hold the ball, step up, step left, left grasper's tail. That's 3. Hold the ball, step up, sit, grasper's tail. And that's 4 before we do it goes right to whip to one side. So draw the bow, shifting your weight, rotating the hips, take the pulse, drop elbows, and back. And that's actually 4 moves. So back to 3 in detail. Feet shoulder width, hands down, looking up. Raise hands, lower hands. Now, left toe. Turn it that way, it's 90 degrees actually. And at the same time, this hand comes out. Lift the left heel, put the heel down. Shift your hips so that now you're over the right foot. See your toe. This pressure down that way, this intention this way and that way. Tiger's mouth, straight line. Hips this way. And that's, what was that? Brushy, yeah. Hold the ball. Again, get your balance. Sit, step left, and left grasper's tail. So the left hand comes up, and you can see it in front of you, and the other's down. So you still have that equal and opposite force. Your hips are parallel to this one. Your knee is straight back there. Most of your weight is on this foot. And what is it? Grasper's tail. Yeah. And then hold the ball. Step, sit, step, rotate. Grasper's tail. Rotate back. Draw the bow. Take the pulse. Drop elbows. And that way. And then to one side. Anyway, I can't see you guys doing it or not, but let me, I have to figure that one out, how I'm going to do this.
We have about 4 minutes left, Johan. Just letting you know.
I'll give you the first 3 again, so you can remember if you can. Is raise hands, down. Right foot, right hand, left heel 45 degrees to the right. Left hand down. That's the second move, brush knee. Hold the hand, hold the ball. Step out, sit. Step left, turn, right hand down, left hand up. That's left grasper's tail. You guys get that far, you're doing very well. Very quickly. Up, down, turn. This way, hold the ball, step, left, turn, left grasper's tail. There you go. Any questions? I'll have to find a way to see everybody doing it sometime. Does it, is it fairly clear? I need kind of, wouldn't mind feedback.
It's tricky to
And,
teach on Zoom, so we do rely on your feedback. If you
That's
have
right.
questions, please speak up or post a question in the chat so that we can help you out. Somebody said yes when you asked if it was clear, so thanks for the detailed explanation. All right, so, well, before you go.
The next class, we'll review those. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, before you go, I'll review those moves and maybe add another exercise in there and go over them again. Repetition makes it go. And I'll try to maybe doing it in different directions so that you can see how it goes from different angles. So by all means, review whatever I've done today and follow it if you can. And again, if you're doing it from a seated position, I would follow with the upper body part, the turning and the arm movements. So it takes the weight off your knees, especially if you have bad legs and knees. Anyway, any comments before we close off and say
I have a
goodbye?
question about where to find the
Any
recording,
thoughts?
and we do have a question about where to find the recording. We will be making the recording available on the Awakening Spirituality webpage. I'm going to post that address for you again in the chat. And it will be posted in the next day or two so that you can review that. So some good feedback there. You've encouraged me to start learning Tai Chi again. That's awesome. That's good feedback. And so I think I'm not seeing any other questions. Oh, sorry, I was late joining. I found to find it informative, the transition from 6 to 7, I find confusing. Perhaps we could go over that. The transition from 6 to 7. Does that...
Okay. From each one. Yeah,
just...
that's from white stork spreads wings to brush knee. Yeah, that's towards the end. If you can get the opening to Tai Chi to left grass bird's tail and grass bird's tail, that would be awesome. Oh, that's the first 3 moves.
What is grass bird's tail? Can you show me the hand? Grass
bird's tail.
Yes.
You have a left grass bird's tail, which is like this. This is, you're just left grasp, and then you hold the ball and you go into grass bird's tail, which is your fingers just above your palm. You'll feel the energy there, but you don't want to touch. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah. So it's essentially just like that. You can still, I don't know if you can see the area between.
Yep.
And you can just kind of feel the energy between your fingers and your palm. It's like a flow. So that's grass bird's tail.
This or moving towards it?
No, you're just,
I can't
it's
tell
part of the hip movements.
You guys are numbering them.
This is at the end of the move. This is the end of the move.
Okay, and the move is called that?
Grass bird's tail, yeah. So you're here and you hold the ball and you step and you do that Toryu movement. You raise and you end up with your fingers right just off your palm. That's grass bird's tail. Draw the bow, take the pulse, drop elbows. It's a back and forth and essentially the Toryu movement, rotating the hips from one leg to the other. Yeah, the hands is not that critical. You can, if you follow the hip movement and shifting your weight from one foot to the other, straightening one knee, bending the other.
The whole move is called that?
Pardon me? The exercise at the beginning was called Toryu, and it includes all those moves. Yeah.
I'm just going to leave this. Thank you. your time and today.
It's hard to describe.
By the way, you
If
guys.
I was with you, I could
Yeah, no,
direct you.
I'll learn what I can get. I really appreciate your efforts and I will work on that. Gracias, adios, namaste, blessings.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody.
Yeah, before you go, I did post the references in the chat for you, so you can click on those before you leave, and then you'll have those open for your reference. I just want to say thank you to everyone for coming and being with us today. Our next session will be held on December the 7th at 3 p.m. And I just wanted to let you know we also have one more webinar that you might be interested in. It's coming up. It's called Angel Card Reading Practice. And that's for anyone who wants to develop skills in card reading. That will be held on December the 2nd at 10 a.m. So you can check that out at awakeningspirituality.ca as well. Anyways, I want to thank Johan for his patience in teaching us today. There's seems like a lot of information just in the first few moves to think about and to practice in the next couple of weeks. So thank you very much, and we'll look forward to seeing everyone back again in a couple weeks. Good luck with the practice.
Thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Where are we here?